Remarkable teachers and remarkable staff, welcome to day 2 of our Welcome Back message. While yesterday we focused on our potential, today is about the tangible. What do the steps to a reimagined education actually look like? Our primary teachers across the district have already gotten their first glimpse with the new flexible seating district-wide. I am so excited for our students to experience them. Reimagining even the furniture in our classrooms will truly make a difference. When we pay attention and we meet our students where they are, they take notice. Don't believe me. Don't just believe me. Watch and see.
A good teacher looks like a lot of energy, not just boring, asking us simple questions, make it hard, make it, so we have to really think.
I would say a good teacher would be caring and honor students if they did something good, recognizing them. And if somebody's having a bad day, maybe see if they need a break or something. And making the lessons fun and telling them they can do this, you can do this, believe in yourselves.
I would say maybe a kind and nice teacher, to where if I ask to go to the bathroom and they say no, then I don't want that teacher.
A good teacher is nice and mean at the same time, because sometimes she has to yell because some students, and sometimes she doesn't because of the good student. And I'm one of the good students, so I usually get to play board games and be on a computer and get candy and stuff like that. I didn't know how to read, or I didn't know math, and they helped me with my writing because I was very bad at writing.
Well, she brought us a lot of work. She brings fun activities, so it's not just math. It's guess how many things up in this item or jar and stuff, and then we have to guess, and she will give us prizes and things. So it made our class very fun. Okay. She's very interactive with the students. It makes it fun for us kids to learn because she's giving us a better environment to be in.
To include everybody, because you never know if somebody feels left out. Probably getting Spanish books and science for the kids.
Right now I like my teacher because she gives me choices: skating, PE, or art. Hi, Miss Hughes. Thanks for letting me have choices all this summer.
I would say Miss Hafley, the science teacher of Rolling Acres. She has given me multiple chances and told, even if I'm having a bad day, she said, I can do this, you can do this, Jada, I believe in you.
A message to Mr. Duncan would say, I really liked how you made me feel better and I wasn't feeling low and everything. And I really like how you made me smile.
Ms. Hafley, thank you for everything you've done for me, and I can't wait to have you for my science teacher next year.
Hi, Ms. Beats. The message I would send to you is that I know I sometimes get in trouble by you, but I like to have you as a teacher in 6th grade. It was really fun to laugh with you and everything, and I liked how you would never tell me to give up.
Hey, Miss Cummins, thank you for teaching me all the stuff that you taught me. You taught me a valuable lesson and a life lesson. I didn't know all this stuff that you taught me, like reading, math, and writing. And you were a pretty nice teacher.
I would say try to understand students a little bit better, and even if they're having a bad day or stuff, try to understand what's going on.
Well, teachers, they can really just nothing, because they're already, they do a lot. It's hard to think.
I would say respect the teachers, even if they say you were talking and the person was talking next to you, just don't talk back, just say yes ma'am, okay, and then just be done, and give teachers the same respect that you would give to your parents and your family.
I think students would be better if they wouldn't give attitudes back to the teacher after they say no, and they wouldn't be so harsh to the teacher.
Because without teachers, we wouldn't be really learning a lot. We would just probably be learning like the simple stuff like our ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. We wouldn't be learning more, and we probably wouldn't be able to go to college and be what we want to be when we grow up.
Those are some special shout outs from our students. The students, without you knowing, oh, a student out there counts you as the reason for their success, for something you may not even remember doing. And remember, every adult in our students' lives, whether in the classroom or out, has the power to have that influence. TNTP, or the New Teacher Project, sets 2 core commitments necessary to reach our goals. Read it over and pay special attention to the words in red. We are talking about every student, every family, every day, in every class. These commitments are strong, not only for our classroom, but your grade level, your school, and the district. I make these commitments right along with you because we are united in why we are here. I love these 4 domains of learning that is being shared with you on the screen. They are instruction, curriculum, environment, and the learner. We know what they are. Each domain plays a key role in improving the achievement of each child. The key point to me is that we cannot fully address the learner, which is the last domain, domain 4, without ensuring that the instruction, the curriculum, and the environment are all very strong. Reimagining our work requires us to be all in, which is why our investment cannot be in our students alone. Teachers are powerful, teachers are resilient, our staff and teachers are innovative, compassionate, capable, and so much more. But most of all, each and every one of you are very, very deserving. You are deserving of satisfaction, you are deserving of support, fun, rest, and so much more. For this reason and more, Peoria Public Schools is so excited to be awarded the Community Partnership Grant focused on investing in our staff members. The 2-year grant provides various opportunities for wellness and professional development. I have highlighted 3 examples to give you a glimpse into what is coming. Based on your feedback, we are investing in resources like fitness equipment and employee gardens, experiences like kickboxing, yoga, and fun stuff like trivia nights, and so much more. I would like to close with a message that spoke to me. The organization Capturing Kids' Hearts guides educators to teach students by investing in them as people. I won't give too much away, but without further ado, I present the award-winning educator, instructor, Jeff Thorpe, to you.
Hi, my name is Jeff Thorpe, and I'm a Leadership Development Executive for Capturing Kids' Hearts. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak to you today and share some thoughts as you prepare to move into a new school year. Many years ago as a classroom teacher, I remember thinking that I had seen it all. But now, after 40 years in education, I realize I still haven't seen it all. When you start to think about all the changes that have happened, it can be overwhelming. There's one thing that's been consistent throughout time, and that's the power of teaching. The seat of influence that we sit in every day gives us the opportunity to impact the lives of our future generations, even when we don't think we are. I've come to realize that this is one of the professions we may never get to see the finished product. But when one of our students comes back to visit, that's our bonus check. That's why we do what we do. I remember a season in my teaching career where I wasn't sure if I was even making an impact on some students, only to look up one day and see a couple of students who had graduated years before walking down the hall of a school they always acted like they hated at a time when they could have been doing anything else. And why were they there? To thank me for what I had done for them. They may not remember exactly what I taught them, but apparently I made an impact that I didn't even realize I had made during our time together. It's times like these that I really enjoyed as a teacher. One of the other things that I love about teaching is that most of us are committed to being lifelong learners. We realize that we cannot live in the past. We have to adjust and grow with the times. When I started teaching, all I knew was how I had been taught, and I didn't know the power of relationships. Our founder, Flip Flippin, says, if you have a child's heart, you have a child's mind. That statement made me think of the teachers that I would have run through walls for, and those who I made it my mission to make them miserable. You see, I needed an appropriate adult as I was growing up, and I only wish that more of my teachers had stepped up to fill that vacancy in my life. I'm not always saying I deserved it, but when I was at my worst, that's when I needed it the most. Can you think of some students right now that need you to not only be a content expert, but to also be a positive influence in their life? When I realized that my students needed me to quit building walls and instead open a door, some amazing things started happening. If we're being honest, it's pretty easy to love lovable students, but how about those that need us just as much without being so lovable? And how about those students that are ghosts in our halls? You know what I mean? Those that are not performing at a high level, or those that are not misbehaving to get our attention. They just float through the day unnoticed. How do we keep that from happening? How about if we continue to learn and add to our toolkits so we can have more success stories than we already have? So ask yourself these questions. Does every student in my room get my personal, undivided attention for at least a few seconds every day? Do I know something personal about every one of my students? Do my students feel safe with me? Do my students feel safe with each other? I'll honestly answer that for most of my career, I would have answered yes to all those questions, but I was incorrect. You see, after all these years, I am finally becoming the leader I always thought I was. I learned that leadership, it's not about me, but instead it's about those that I'm supposed to be leading. One of the tools that has helped me get to where I am today is a leadership, teaching, and relationship model that we teach called Excel. Those letters stand for engage, explore, communicate, empower, and launch. This model has helped me to understand so many things about how I should have been treating people when I'm interacting with them. A big piece of that is that people want to be acknowledged when they walk into a room. They want people to treat them like they matter. If I can just slow down, welcome people, then ask them some questions so I can learn their story, we can start building a bridge to a healthy relationship with mutual understanding. It also taught me that when I start communicating with people, first thing I need to do is be sure they know I care about them first, and then the content of my message second. I don't need to do all the talking for them to get the message either. True communication involves a mutual commitment. It also opened my eyes to how unnecessary it is to micromanage everything around me. People have incredible abilities if we just let them have ownership, which creates responsibility and pride. I'll admit, for a long time, my personal t-shirt would have said, if I want it done right, I'll just do it myself. But let's be real. What kind of future leader am I growing if I never empower them to fail forward? And lastly, I always want them excited for more by launching them at the end of our time together with something that provides closure as well as inspires them to show up the next time. If I can make an intentional effort every day to not skip any of these steps, I can increase my circle of influence. And who knows, I might even save a friend, colleague, or student from going down a path that does not serve them well. Think for a moment about all the students that you're going to have the opportunity to impact in your career. It's very humbling when you think about it. Let me give you a few statistics that come from 4 different sources: the ING Foundation Survey, the National Center for Education Statistics, the Harris Poll, and Ed Week. First one is this. When you average together elementary and secondary teachers, did you realize that the average teacher affects over 3,000 students in their career? Second, this year, about 3.6 million students will graduate from U.S. high schools. 54% of students say a teacher has helped them through a difficult time in their life. 75% of students say teachers are mentors and role models. 88% of people say a teacher had a significant positive impact on their lives. And last, because of that, 98% of people believe that a good teacher can change the course of a student's life. Let me say that the students in these statistics need you more now than ever, and they need you more than you know. As we continue to see people leave the profession, we need to look back and revisit why we got into teaching in the first place. Reignite your passion for teaching and embrace your influence. The thing that makes the greatest impact are not always the easiest things to do. Now, let me leave you with this story. There was a large metropolitan area that had a relationship with a local school district. And the relationship said that any time a child went in for an extended period of time into the children's hospital, the school district would send a teacher to work with that child to keep them up with their education. Story goes, a teacher got an assignment to show up at the children's hospital to work with a young man, knowing nothing about this young man other than she was there to work with him with his grammar. She walked in, the nurse met her, was walking her down the hallway to this young boy's room without her having a clue what was wrong with the young man. She got to the door, she looked in, and she was horrified. This young man had been burned over 75% of his body. He was uncomfortable, he was upset, he was sad, he was in tremendous pain, but she had a job to do. So she did what teachers do. She went in and she started working with that young man. When the day was over, she left, but she left feeling defeated. She didn't feel like she had done what she wanted to accomplish, and she was very sad about the way the day went. The next day, she shows up to work with the young man again, and the same nurse meets her in the hall. And she says, "What did you do yesterday?" The teacher, thinking she had done something wrong, said, I don't know. What did I do? She said, no, you don't understand. He's totally different. His attitude is different. He's receptive to treatment. She said, I don't know what you did, but keep doing it. The teacher goes in and works with the boy day after day. A few weeks later, the nurse goes and talks to the young man and says, why the big change? What happened? The young boy looked up at her and said, you know that teacher they sent? They would have never sent me a teacher if they didn't think I was going to get better. We never know when what we're doing, although it's the simplest thing for us, may save a life. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and have a great year.
My goal is for us to work smarter, not harder. Please help us by providing feedback with those 3 questions that are on your screen. Thank you for your participation.